Ever dreamed of becoming royalty overnight? For one Austrian woman, this fairy tale became a reality. But her story took a dark turn, leading to a daring escape and a lifetime ban. What could make a queen's tale so dangerous that an entire country forbids it? Meet Inge Eberhard, an ordinary Austrian girl who had no idea her life was about to change forever. Her incredible journey from student to secret princess is so shocking, it's banned in an entire country. Can you believe it? But why is Inge's story considered so dangerous? What secrets lie hidden in her past that make an entire nation want to erase her tale? As we unravel this jaw-dropping story, you'll discover the unexpected twists, heart-pounding dangers, and unbelievable sacrifices that turned a simple love story into a forbidden legend. Stick around, because Inge's tale of accidental royalty, daring escapes, and lifelong dedication will leave you speechless. Are you ready to uncover the truth behind this banned queen story? Inge's fairy tale didn't start in a palace, but in a humble college dorm. What if the person you fell in love with was hiding a royal secret? For Inge, this wasn't just a daydream. It was about to become her reality. It all began at a casual student party in Colorado. Inge Eberhard, a bright-eyed Austrian student, had no idea her life was about to change forever. Across the room stood Sao Kya-seng, a handsome engineering student from Burma. Their eyes met and sparks flew. But Sao was keeping a massive secret, one that would turn Inge's world upside down. As they got to know each other, Inge was drawn to Sao's charm and intelligence. He was unlike anyone she'd ever met. What she didn't know was that Sao was deliberately hiding his true identity. He wasn't just another foreign student. He was the Prince of Sipa, a state in Burma. Their romance blossomed quickly. Sao was determined to win Inge's heart based on who he was as a person, not his royal status. And win her heart he did. On March 7, 1953, they tied the knot in a simple ceremony at a friend's home in Colorado. It was a historic moment. They became the first interracial couple to marry in the state. But Inge still had no clue about the royal bombshell that was about to drop. As they prepared to leave for Burma after graduation, she thought she was simply following her new husband home. Little did she know, she was about to step into a life straight out of a storybook. The journey to Burma must have been filled with excitement and nerves for Inge. She was leaving behind everything familiar to start a new life in a country she knew little about. All the while, Sao kept his secret, perhaps wondering how his new bride would react to the truth. As their plane touched down in Burma, Inge's world turned upside down. Instead of a quiet arrival, they were greeted by crowds of people. Suddenly, she found herself surrounded by luxury and servants. Can you imagine her shock when she finally learned the truth? Her husband, the man she thought she knew, was actually a prince. Inge's reaction to this life-changing revelation was priceless. In a moment of disbelief and humor, she reportedly said, "I wish you would have told me. I would have worn a different dress." It was a light-hearted response to a situation that must have felt completely surreal. In the blink of an eye, Inge went from being a regular college graduate to a princess. The small-town Austrian girl was now living in a palace, surrounded by opulence she had never dreamed of. It was a lot to take in, and Inge initially felt overwhelmed by her new royal duties and the army of servants at her beck and call. But this was just the beginning of Inge's incredible journey. She had unknowingly married into a world of power, privilege, and, as she would soon discover, danger. Her fairy tale was about to take some unexpected turns that would test her love, her strength, and her very survival. From small-town girl to princess, Inge thought she had it all. But in Burma, not everything was as it seemed. What dark secret threatened to destroy her newfound happiness? Inge's life had transformed overnight. One moment, she was a regular college graduate. The next, she was living in a palace, surrounded by luxury and servants. It was a lot to take in, but Inge was determined to make the most of her unexpected royal status. She threw herself into learning about her new home and its people. Inge studied Burmese and Shan languages, eager to communicate with her subjects. Her efforts didn't go unnoticed. The Shan people quickly warmed to their new princess, impressed by her dedication and genuine interest in their lives. But Inge wasn't content to simply bask in royal luxury. She and Sao shared a vision of using their position to improve lives. Sao had already taken bold steps, distributing his family's rice paddies to local farmers. Together, they introduced modern agricultural techniques, hoping to boost productivity and reduce poverty. Their efforts were making a real difference. Farmers saw their yields increase, and the region began to prosper. Inge found purpose in her charitable work, organizing health clinics and education initiatives. For a while, it seemed like a perfect fairy tale, a loving couple using their power to help others. Yet, as Inge and Sao worked to build a better future, dark clouds were gathering on the horizon. Political tensions were rising in Burma. The military was growing increasingly powerful and suspicious of anyone they saw as a threat to their control. Sao's progressive policies had not gone unnoticed. His efforts to empower local farmers and modernize agriculture were seen as dangerous by those who preferred the old ways. Rumors began to circulate that the military viewed the Prince of Sepah as a potential rival. Inga could sense the growing unease. Whispers of discontent reached even the palace walls. She tried to focus on her work and her family, hoping that their good intentions would protect them from harm. But deep down, a gnawing fear began to take root. Then, in 1962, their world came crashing down. General Ne Win led a military coup, seizing control of the country. In an instant, the delicate balance of power that had allowed Inga and Sao to pursue their dreams was shattered. The military wasted no time in targeting those they saw as threats. One day, without warning, soldiers arrived at the palace. Inga watched in horror as her husband was arrested and taken away. In that heart-wrenching moment, she realized that her fairy tale had turned into a nightmare. Sao's last words to Inga before his arrest would haunt her for years to come. He had once told her, "If anything happened to him, I should wait 2 years. If he did not come back, that meant he was not alive anymore." Those words now echoed in her mind, a chilling premonition of the tragedy unfolding. Suddenly, Inga found herself under house arrest, cut off from the outside world. The palace that had once been a symbol of hope and prosperity now felt like a prison. She was trapped, with no idea what had become of her husband, or what fate awaited her and her children. To make matters worse, the military began spreading vicious rumors. They accused Inga of being a CIA spy, using her foreign background to paint her as an enemy of the state. The very people she had worked so hard to help were now being turned against her. As the walls closed in, Inga realized she had to act fast. But fleeing a country isn't easy when you're a closely watched princess with no money and 2 children in tow. What desperate measures would she have to take to secure her family's freedom? Inga's once glamorous life had turned into a nightmare. Under house arrest in her own palace, she was cut off from the world, constantly monitored by military guards. Her daughters, Mayari and Kanari, were too young to understand the gravity of their situation. Every day, Inga wrestled with the same haunting question. What had happened to her beloved Sao? As weeks turned into months, hope began to fade. Sao's chilling words echoed in her mind. "If I don't return in 2 years, assume I'm no longer alive." The clock was ticking, and Inga knew she couldn't wait any longer. She had to get her daughters out of Burma, no matter the cost. But how could a foreigner under constant surveillance possibly escape? Inga's royal status, once a blessing, now felt like a curse. Every move she made was watched, every conversation potentially overheard. She needed help, and it came from an unexpected source. An official at the Austrian embassy, moved by Inga's plight, decided to take an enormous risk. In secret, he began forging the documents that would be crucial for their escape. It was a dangerous game. If caught, both Inga and the official would face severe consequences. As the plan took shape, Inga faced an agonizing decision. Escaping meant leaving behind everything: her home, her possessions, and any hope of learning Sao's fate. But staying put her daughters' lives at risk. In her heart, she knew what she had to do. The night of the escape arrived with a shocking urgency. Inga received word that she had just 3 hours to pack before their flight left. 3 hours to pack up a life, to decide what to take and what to leave behind forever. Can you imagine the panic? The rush to gather essential documents and meaningful keepsakes? In the end, their entire lives fit into just 3 suitcases. As Inga looked around the palace one last time, her heart breaking, she thought of all she was leaving behind. The treasures, the memories, the life she had built with Sao. All of it would remain in Burma. With guards posted outside, Inga and her daughters slipped out under cover of darkness. Every step was fraught with danger. Discovery would mean imprisonment, or worse. As they made their way to the airport, Inga held her breath, praying the forged documents would pass inspection. Miraculously, they boarded the plane without incident. As the aircraft lifted off Burmese soil, Inga felt a mix of relief and profound sadness. They were free, but at what cost? Her thoughts turned to Sao, left behind in an unknown fate. Would she ever see him again? The reality of their situation hit hard when they landed in Austria. Inga found herself without a single coin to make a phone call. The once royal family was now penniless refugees in a country that felt foreign to the girls. Mayari and Kanari, accustomed to palace life, were bewildered by simple things like revolving doors. Inga's escape was successful, but it marked the beginning of a new struggle. How would she build a new life from scratch? How could she help her daughters adjust to a world so different from the only home they'd known? And how would she cope with the lingering questions about Sal's fate? Inge had escaped Burma, but the ghosts of her past weren't far behind. What do you do when your fairy tale turns into a nightmare? For Inge, the answer was simple. You write a book so powerful, an entire country bans it. Inge's arrival in Austria was far from the homecoming she'd imagined. The once royal family found themselves penniless refugees in a country that felt foreign to her daughters. Mayari and Kanari, accustomed to palace life, were bewildered by simple things like revolving doors. But the challenges didn't end there. Prejudice reared its ugly head as Inge's daughters faced discrimination in Austria. Their mixed heritage, once a symbol of love, now made them targets. Inge knew she had to make a change. With determination and courage, she packed up their lives once again and set her sights on Colorado. In the United States, Inge began the arduous task of rebuilding her life from scratch. She became a high school German teacher, focusing on providing stability for her daughters. But the memories of Burma, the unanswered questions about Sal's fate, and the desire to help those she left behind never faded. In 1994, Inge made a decision that would change everything. She put pen to paper and began writing her memoir, Twilight over Burma, My Life as a Shan Princess. This wasn't just a retelling of her extraordinary life. It was a cathartic journey that helped her confront her past. Before I wrote the book, I used to have nightmares of running with my two little girls while bullets flew past us, Inge revealed. But since finishing the book, the nightmares have ended. Her words paint a vivid picture of the healing power of storytelling. But Twilight over Burma was more than just a personal healing journey. It became a powerful testament to the struggles of the Burmese people under military rule. The book's unflinching portrayal of the regime's brutality and its historical significance made it too hot to handle. To this day, it remains banned in Myanmar, a testament to the power of Inge's words. Inge's story struck a chord with readers worldwide, but she wasn't content to bask in literary success. Instead, she channeled the attention into action. Every penny earned from Twilight over Burma goes directly to supporting Burmese refugees, turning her painful past into a lifeline for others. In 1995, Inge's commitment to helping others took a more organized form. Together with her second husband, Tad Sargent, she founded the Burma Lifeline Foundation. This organization became a beacon of hope for Burmese refugees and those fleeing the oppressive military regime. Inge's tireless efforts didn't go unnoticed. In 2000, she received the UN International Human Rights Award, a prestigious recognition of her advocacy for ethnic minorities in Burma. But for Inge, the real reward was in the lives she touched and the hope she inspired. Her impact extended beyond immediate aid. In 2008, the South Santri Leadership Award was established, named in honor of Inge's royal title. This award supports young community leaders in Shan State, ensuring that Inge's vision for a better Burma continues to thrive through new generations. Even in her later years, Inge's dedication never wavered. She continued to be a voice for the voiceless, sharing her story to raise awareness about the ongoing struggles in Myanmar. Her daughters, carrying forward their mother's legacy, now run the Burmese Support Foundation, ensuring that Inge's work continues to make a difference. Inge's journey from student to princess to refugee to humanitarian is truly remarkable. Her story of love, loss, and resilience captivated hearts worldwide. But in Myanmar, her tale remains forbidden. The ban on Inge's memoir and its film adaptation speaks volumes about the power of personal narratives. Her words challenge the official version of history, shining a light on the dark corners of Myanmar's past. It's a testament to how one person's story can threaten those in power. Yet, even banned, Inge's story finds ways to reach people. It circulates underground, inspiring hope and change. Her legacy lives on through the South Sandi Leadership Award, nurturing new generations of leaders in Shan State. Inge's life reminds us why we must share forbidden stories. They hold the power to challenge oppression, inspire change, and keep the truth alive, even in the face of censorship. And just when you thought you'd heard it all, there's another royal scandal that'll leave you absolutely stunned. The tragic and shocking events surrounding the untimely death of the Malaysian king's son are almost too unbelievable to be true. What really happened behind palace doors? Dark secrets, hidden motives, and the controversial truth that everyone's been whispering about? You won't believe how it all unraveled. Click on the screen now to uncover the jaw-dropping details